Unmuted.
Well, it's muted now for me to tell you yes. Is that okay? I don't know. Nobody. Oh, está bien. That's fine. I'll only unmute it if David says something.
Yeah, but this changes every year. People could take this and use it as fucking answers.
With my one views, I'm gonna tell David, yo, David, you better not ever do realtor state.
It don't matter. One you could turn into a million in a heartbeat.
Ooh, you think about me too high.
I'm gonna start when I get off of this. I'm gonna do
That's how I had it. I used to have it from like 9 to 2.
But I gotta do it.
You just cannot advertise without what's called consent. Other laws are there, and that consent literally says that we've given the consent the opportunity to market and advertise we're doing. You can't solicit that prospective buyer without the express consent of the owner of the property. So having a listing contract does not mean you have automatic rights to advertise. Most contracts have a clause in it that does say so, but the seller can elect not to give certainly permission to advertise. Now, why would they want to do something like that? That might be maybe they're a high-profile individual, maybe very high-profile in a political arena.
I don't even
eliminate their home being a target.
But for someone to twist that,
that's what I'm saying. Like, what twisted it? Like, what made it even twist to begin with?
I'm thinking, like, for a kid to twist it, there has to be a force. A kid can't break it. See, I would believe Brooklyn could proper sock it out of place more than that, more than anything.
I don't know.
Because to break a bone, Brooklyn's not even
But she's
that
too. Breaking her bone wouldn't be hard at all.
It's more easier to come out than to do that. Anybody has to be strong, like an adult. Why?
Get to know them like not to although that is a possibility in today's crazy world. So just having the ability to advertise and promote, you must have that permission, obviously. Can't publish information about
Stop running, you two. And sit down.
Property managers, especially if property is not included in any of this that the agent prepares. So again, rules, regulations are specific of what can and only the seller or the
Where the fuck is this earth?
It applies to rentals for agents and employees as well, as to what they think about the property being available to a potential tenant. Here's an interesting scenario. We've got broker has a listing agreement to find a ready, willing, able buyer for some house. This gives her incidental authority to move his house on Sunday morning real estate.
Daniel was like, did you lose weight? I was like,
Daniel better stop looking at you.
False.
He's weird.
Like he ain't already had something for you.
I don't pay attention to this.
I don't go fuck.
Consent. So these are the little traps that agents can get themselves on the disciplinary action list.
He's weird. I could get weirder. I could get Jeffrey Dahmer weird.
Claiming that they're an independent contractor, so they
I've never had a thing for
but they want to protect themselves so that the broker is not.
I always seen him as a friend and I always have. Where is it? Where's it at? The microphone.
I put it away because it's time to go night-night soon.
I don't be paying attention to him. He's just like, we know each other. I was like, yeah, I don't even high school.
What?
In order to advertise it,
It's okay. Go sit
no.
over there. Leave it where it was. As long as niggas respect you, bro, because I'm getting tired of that shit.
Now, there's another thing that's
Hell no. Daniel knows our crack of this shit.
and then regulations of your local law.
Check it out, the local law.
You're going to be marketing and advertising, promoting a property.
That Daniel knows our crack of this shit. I smacked Daniel before for that shit. Daniel don't try that shit.
In other words, it's not like an advertising walkout. And they're recently.
He be asking, like, oh, how are you gonna hurt yourself? He's great. And I could be fucking pissed off at you. And I'm telling you, I was stuck in his dick last night. So that. don't even tell nobody your business ethics.
Boycotting, make it available to everybody.
Even when we're on bad terms, I'm just telling you, we're great. Trust me, we're good. You and his voice, yeah.
For the most part, I think most brokers will do that ethically and honestly.
I was bragging when you got the PS5, and then I was telling him, I told him I didn't care. I was like, I got him for fucking $75 TV. He was like, damn, you got it like that. I was like, just like that. He said, you know what you like to give out. You know, I was like, no, goodbye.
So the public doesn't look to see if it's that. Even when you give some sort of a Facebook promotion, you still go through the public.
Daniel don't grow up. Daniel would never be someone that I could ever look at serious. His nigga's immature as fuck.
They must include every ad they appropriated for business exactly as here's the license, nicknames, or versions, the employee broker's phone number or company number must be in all advertising promotion, whether it's going to be a print ad, whether it's going to be on television, whether it's going to be Facebook or other social media. These are the requirements of all advertising. Can it be included if they were made in the advertisement or
you know what we did do though?
And the law says specifically they must be equal size.
Queen had brought her curly ass wig in.
Let's make sure you've got that concept.
Now we better corporate blue this bitch. I was dumb. I was like, no. And he did the same thing too. And then Joanna too. The whole wig fell off Joanna because her head is so tiny. I was like, wow. Queen was like, y'all don't take shit serious. Give my damn wig back. Why would you bring that here? I was like, especially knowing how I am. So don't take shit serious.
Sounds like a trivial thinking point, but I do recall watching the movie decades, some of the complaints and so forth, and there's some people that just don't play by the rules.
Mike had his sneakers on today. I was like, oh snap, Mike's gonna go to jail today. He ain't got them court shoes on. He was like, I did it, so I was like, you're guilty. Guilty as charged.
All these rules and laws and disciplinary actions we've been talking about, they're all just misleading information. They all
started.
So it's not just something randomly they came up with. It was a complaint.
I agree with you. Just a little bit. That's what I agree with them. Just a little bit. But I feel like I'm way more retarded than you are. I'm just a lot more,
Not slightly retarded. I'm cool fucking retarded.
Is licensed to Pennsylvania and Delaware. He's got a sub-goal assignment. He's a real estate man. Great issues there. Agents love to now that may be something that needs some substantiation. He's the number one agent. I don't know if that's some sort of a designation in his company. Looks like the name of the brokerage company is Realty 2019. There's his direct number. There's the office.
Good luck finding one.
there is no more water bottles.
Can I get the water tub?
There's his website.
Like, I'm dying of thirst here. I'm about to have a whole cry in my like Jim Carrey for me myself in that room.
And each office independently owned and operated. He's showing their housing and logo there and his pictures. Anybody see anything potentially illegal with Abe's ad?
His name is larger than the broker.
We got a winner there. Abe's name is clearly, it's not even the equal size as the company, it's clearly larger. We've got a violation right there.
Barry, can I ask you a question about the equal housing logo?
Yeah.
I see a lot of signs without it outside of houses for sale or for rent.
No requirement by the real estate commission. Not at all. I think it's just practice in there that signify that we do subscribe to fair housing, but not a requirement by the real estate commission. So,
yo, you ask what? No, don't even say shit. I don't want to. No, don't piss me off. No digas nada.
What the hell did you say? Since you want to see him, go ahead and talk
after I warmed up the tacos, you said you didn't want it. I asked you, what would you like to eat? A million times.
I'm in fucking class.
We had a 15-minute break just now.
Wow, because I'm thinking 15 minutes what I want to eat.
So, baby, literally, you say you're not picky, but your stomach is the pickiest motherfucker I've ever met. So I can't pick food. Because I would have eaten those tacos, no problem. You wouldn't.
Size and style, you'd be okay.
I'm not picky. So don't say if you don't talk, you don't get food when I offered you. Give me a second.
How about the different colors of the fonts? Let's make them all the same size and the font style, but let's make his red and put it first up here. We'll make the other ones maybe this kind of like a light brown, depending on your screen. It might come up with a different color. There's been some controversy. I don't know if there's ever been disciplinary action as long as they were. So that prominence is really, and the size is kind of a subjective type issue. Some people are colorblind. They have a color deficiency. Their rods and cones are not able to discern. They live in a world of grays and blacks and whites. They just don't see blue. They have trouble like a dark forest green will get mixed up with a brown. They can't tell the difference between those. So there's different varying degrees of color blindness. So I don't think that's really been a real concern. They're all the same size. Prominence is fine. And that's what the real estate commission said. They must be the same prominence or the same size.
You make me feel like I don't be asking about you when I do.
I wonder what this #1 agent is and what it means. Did he just throw that in there so that he drew attention to himself in some sort of a created, concocted,
what would you like to eat?
And I don't even know what the parameters are. It says agent of the month. Is that the agent? Did he show up every day for work? I'm not so sure what that really means. So there might be a possible charge of misleading advertising, or at least something confusing. Like a decent person. And licensing in Delaware. So additional advertising stipulations come into play here. Blind advertising. Blind advertisements are any ad that is leaving the whole sold by a non-licensed. In other words, blind ads are illegal. There's always this thought that all and talk to real estate agents. Real estate's an easy business to get into. They make courses, they engage, pass the exam, but don't have a license to offer free to the general public with their real estate. And that's very powerful.
You're good. I don't have anything against you. You can put your feet on me if you want.
Integrity as well. Well, over the years, you saw the disciplinary list. I mean, they are real, and that does happen.
What's the problem?
You always fucking yelling and always talking to me like that, like, bro.
I was joking around.
No, you wasn't.
At first I was. Yes, I was. At first I was. Yes, I was.
Talk to me like that while I'm sitting here trying to change into my part. I
Bro,
fucking think so.
I was literally fucking around with you when you were about to talk shit, talking about DK. Si no pito. When I stopped you there, I was joking. So was I.
No, when you sit here and say you're not about to piss me off, clearly you're not sitting here joking around like that.
And then you see my face?
And then I'll get both sides of the commission.
You didn't see
I did.
that I had a smirk?
No, you didn't.
So what face did I have?
A serious ass face like
I
you
didn't.
do.
Well, we got
I didn't.
working there. We got a little conspiracy going on that allows it. We didn't even know about it. We know what's happening with our past. And marketing agencies have that set for us in their policy manual. Business names to have permission. I mean, the name is on the license. And if you want to use a nickname, that's okay. Just make sure register with the real estate commission. How do you do that? On your initial license application, when you run the pass exam, it says your application is less than the supervisor to be responsible for your antics and shenanigans. It will say you want to be known by any short versions of your name or nicknames, and that's acceptable. And then all the applications every 2 years, buyers, people online, say, can only refer to closed transactions. So I like to say there's no such thing as a listing leader. Bob Smith was the listing leader for October 2022. Well, no, it said closed transactions only, not listings. See how misleading that is. You could tell people that their home is $300,000 more than what the market value is. But those people probably all do on Black Friday. And you can now advertise that I just listed $40 million worth of real estate on Black Friday. How wonderful am I? Well, no, that's illegal. It's got to be closed transactions only. Also, have to identify your municipality. But anybody can take those listings. You're not going to have a reputation when somebody figures out you did that for notoriety. And you can't get the property sold. People won't even show them because they're so grossly above the market. There it is, must also include the municipality the market comprises. And the Real Estate Commission gives us a little bit of latitude here. You might be able to say the greater Pittsburgh market area, which applies probably in or around the city, a certain radius of miles. In or around the greater Philadelphia area, same item. If it happens to be in a specific neighborhood or specific region that has its own identity, like I said, the Real Estate Commission is pretty good about that. We do use Happy Valley on the doorstep of the Penn State University because, if I share with you how Centerville got that name, because of being on the doorstep of the Penn State University, there is schools and schools of money, both in the business world and, of course, in the academic world, of being on the doorstep of a Big Ten university, and as a result, the property value stays very high. So there's a lot of wealth in this community, networks around in the rural area, and it's always been able to survive shifts of economic times, starting with the Great Depression in the late 20s, all the way up to the Depression, recession, and economic slowdown we've had. This is for any time so keep that in mind when you get real estate licenses in areas marketing around universities where people will colleges and universities that are established because of the influx of money and, of course, the higher pay scale for the talent in those areas as well. Here's an interesting one. Linda's Good Time Real Estate, #1 in home sales, is a violation. What we're missing is what? The municipality. And it's at #1 in home sales. My question would be, are those closed transactions or are
we could get from the places we're going to
contract?
if you like the concept of
Looks like a bad item. In referencing the number of offices, it may include the number of offices only licensed under Pennsylvania jurisdiction. It was brought to my attention earlier this month that apparently a brokerage company has branch offices in several different states and home office in the Pennsylvania market. And they were actually advertising on their website the properties that they had in, I think, New York, New Jersey, Delaware, and Maryland. And of course, that was brought to my attention. It was a legal ad. Well, that is for a number of offices. It only the number of offices your main office and branch offices in Pennsylvania. So I'd have to say that ad, not a legal ad. But if you look at it, the public doesn't know. You might have some deception to it. But you see, wow, that's a pretty good property that they're advertising. Where is that? Oh, that's over in New Jersey. That's an expensive market. Hey, here's a good one. What do you think about this one? Oh, that one's in Delaware. It's going to be in Pennsylvania. This is kind of interesting when you're advertising that all-stars. Here we go. Let's get into property management.
Would you like from that spot? Would you like from that spot? The Casa Cortez, the one we were going to order from yesterday, but we didn't.
Is the agent.
Please.
She claims she has a CPM
I'm sorry.
designation. That is actually a legitimate designation. It stands for Certified Property Manager. She's taken the training, the courses, passed an exam to be able to do that activity. She holds herself out as Philadelphia Magazine's January 1506 Best Leasing Agent. I guess my question would be, is that sales? agent qualification, maybe quantification. Here's the company she works for. You're going to have to get your magnifying glass out. Francesco, I said that right. Looks a little less confident, but good will know that. Phone numbers, there's her direct line. Back to the pager. I think we're okay with the phone stuff. Maybe this claim is a concern that the name, again, the problem issue. The size of the picture doesn't matter. It doesn't matter whatever. Just the name, obviously. So your reference picture will need that to be on here. You got to hold that designation. That is very prestigious and very powerful. Oh, it did say Pennsylvania, so if she's holding herself as a leasing agent, she better be a broker. This person would not be able to be the leasing agent. They could assist in property management. Thin line between exaggeration and misrepresentation as well, we well know, and you have to make sure that you're very transparent and overt with drawing that line. Ads need to be truthful, should not mislead. If a property is a quarter mile inland, it's not a beachfront property, is it? You get over to Jersey and any of the shore properties, Delaware and Maryland, and down to the Carolinas, all the time. Unauthorized use of trademarks and cannot use trademarks operating without authorization. We get that all the time from our property companies in Southern County. They'll have landmarks from Penn State University, using PSU as a trademark, some of their ads on the web pages, the Nittany Lion, football teams, things like that, just kind of playing off of in fact, that is a trademark infringement, and most colleges and universities of some they actually have a trademark policy for most of these things. I just think my wife and I were driving past exactly this spring, and locally we drove past a sign that was a contractor forward, and I think it actually said in-state home problems. And I looked at that and I thought, how about that one? So we're on the same wavelength. I don't know. He said, I haven't heard anything evidence where they have been supposed to call that for us. This order. Now, this is one that you can use if, notice it is registered, National Association of Realtors, professional organization, salesperson, not a realtor, if he or she is not a member of NAR, and they're a realtor, in an advertisement or the I have been a partner member of the Association of Realtors, National Association, which carries membership with it. In your Pennsylvania Association, we call that PAR. This is NAR, N-A-R, PAR, the Pennsylvania Association, and your local Association of Realtors. So when you pay your annual fee, it's $100-some, then it does cover membership. And it's a good organization, keeps us up to date on the activities locally, as well as on the national level. If you're news carrying, news paying, card carrying member, you can use that. If not, you can use that or even the term realtor, if that is great. Panic selling, probably with this, we talked about impact, we talked about fair housing, scaring homeowners from selling their home, prohibited block custody and fair housing, intimidating owners that do selling, suggesting ethnic or racial competition, neighborhoods changing, either more people of that racial in, or they're moving out, or better get home on the market while we can get some sort of value for it. That's what we did. And harassment, keywords are frequency, soliciting high frequency and pressure, and illegal activities like that. So you can see not only is there a crossover here covering fair housing and prohibition in advertising, but this is how the Real Estate Commission looks at it even for non-fair housing issues. kind of interesting. I'll share a different example for you with panic selling here before we leave this page. I remember, I guess that's been 25 or 30 years of selling the warehouse now. Yeah, years go by so quickly. And I had an appointment to show a couple of the County, a couple of homes I'm going to buy, but they were renting rental property. And the husband
Brooklyn, fat boy.
Jim, this is Marianne and I were this morning.
In front of me, come here.
That's why I'm calling you early. And we were scheduled I can cancel or we can reschedule.
Rock, paper, scissors.
I said, everybody okay? Everybody healthy? He said, yeah. He said, the reason I'm canceling it.
What are you choosing, fool? You had rock, I've seen that. Why are you so nice? Go get your clothing and go take a shower.
Subsided this morning in this rental home.
No, you go first because you lost.
About 8 feet. Thank goodness there was nothing but the landlord's lawnmower in there, which was now 8 feet below grade. A sinkhole. We had no history of sinkholes in this particular area, let alone this one particular one. So as a result, all the properties started coming on the market and selling, thinking that there was something going on. And then the lawsuit started flying. Somebody wanted to sue the original developer of the neighborhood and the housing development called Hardcore's Villa. They wanted to sue and they were launching lawsuits against the original creator of Hardcore's Villa, Alan Hobbaker. Alan died for about 8 years at that time. So no way to collect the money there. They sued his real estate company that he's deceased, which has one of his kids. Thinking that they must have known something about sinkhole activity. Of course, they went to state, they sued Penn State University, they must know something, and the academic school. But how about the water? Thinking of the name of water mains, or the street, and that's away, and then the result of the weekend. But what happened was, never found anybody liable, but the property value started coming down. And everybody in that section of our portfolio thank goodness, in college towns, the average turnover of people moving in and then moving to another home, down moving out, it's about 2 to 4 years. So we can count that we sell a home to a homeowner, probably 2 to 4 years of the information due to other economic factors dependent on diversity. He's selling that home in 2 years. Excuse me. And that kind of activity keeps the value of a community solvent. It keeps a lot of people in communities like that. A little network way. So that wasn't the case whatsoever. Well, now I feel that classes, and I have people that are needed to do something that's really good and selling in the Center County area. They'll come up to me for a break or during a Zoom program and Mary can answer your question. What street was that for all of the and I have some nice and see if you can find out. And they want to know what year, what they do, and nobody can figure out where they want to go. That was a large-scale cancer cell that had nothing to do with the alleged
okay.
Let's see. Sell your own property for sale by owner. So you still must follow the advertising rules, include broker's information on the ads listed through your brokerage company. So this is what the Real Estate Commission says about you and I doing our own self-dealing. If we list it with our brokerage company, we're going to follow the advertising rules.
No, Mate. I'm about to check yours right now.
Then we still have to disclose our license status and follow the other advertising rules. So
oh, look, yeah, I just joined your live. You have it right there.
Buying properties ourselves or selling our own properties, fine. You have to disclose your license status and follow the rules, whether it's going through the brokerage company or not. So in other words, you're like the doctor doctor
Sí, lo vi.
sitting in a restaurant with their family on a Sunday
Used to have the rewards on the
afternoon,
floor.
and somebody next to them at another table starts choking on food and falls over and apparently passes out. Well, the Good Samaritan says, "Doctor, you shall do no harm. In fact, you shall do whatever you can to protect life, and there will be no lawsuits brought against you if the person passes away or suffers medical damages. Go see if you can help that person get unchoked and move forward." That's a Good Samaritan law. Well, it's kind of the same
He's
for us.
green
We have to
for
let
you.
people know that we have training, we have skills, we have experience. You know, we can really take advantage of you, consumer, but we're not. We're going to restrain with that. You have the right to know that I do have a license. So if you want to negotiate with me, but you don't feel comfortable directly, you can hire an agent if you want to from another company. That's fine. But I'm a licensee and I'm selling the home privately, and I have to let you know I have a real estate license and I'm acting in my own interest in this transaction. Some brokers, believe it or not, will not allow that policy. And there's a couple of schools of thought on this, and like I said, I write these policies. The broker might feel that we don't want the general public to think that we buy all the good properties ourselves before they hit the market, and then the general public gets properties that aren't so desirable. So the broker wants to be a little bit more consumer friendly.
You have like a Spartan spear?
There's a variety of other reasons.
A javelin?
Here's a yes or no scenario. Tony is an associate broker for Sell It Fast Realty. I like the name, kind of catchy. She and her husband have decided to sell their house themselves. If Tony does not use the name Sell It Fast Realty on a for sale by owner sign, she places in the front yard of the house.
And slowing down time, I need that too.
Placing a blind ad, and the answer is possibly. That's what attorneys like to say. Well, maybe, or it depends. Here's what it depends on. She needs to include a note such as a broker owned on the sign if she's not listing with her brokerage company. So brokerage owned, broker owned, something to let people know that there is somebody with training. Notice it did say that she was an associate broker in the property. So when somebody calls in, they know they're dealing with a real estate person, and they might want to keep some of their confidential stuff confidential. They might not want to say, you know, we're desperate to buy a home. This one might work out pretty well because we're dealing with the principal, and that is Tony. Contests and lotteries are kind of fun. Had the opportunity to work with two other companies before forming my own company, and I participated in a lot of cool contests and lotteries. They're okay if not meant to deceptively influence consumers. In other words, you always have to tell the truth, so our advertising clearly has to meet the requirements specifically that are set forth by the Real Estate Commission. How about this one? List with us in the month of December and be entered to win a 3-night island vacation for two. That sounds like a lot of fun. It sounds like it's straightforward. Well, I wonder if it meets all the requirements for the State Real Estate Commission so that there's no ambiguity or confusion or misleading or untruthful advertisement there. We have to have a clear description of the prize, the certificate, the gift or lot offered, and prerequisites for receiving. How about a statement identifying any fees and taxes as well as the maximum amount of each that must be paid? In other words, if we have to pay a tax or some sort of fee to get our prize, that's borderline on a scam, isn't it? You see those all over the internet. That starts with the person calling from another country and saying, listen, I'm royalty over here, and, my fortune is about $40 billion, but I need $200,000 to be able to get it out. So send me a check for $200,000 and I'll split the coffers with you 50-50. We do that. How about any limitation on the number of winners? The fine print
By
said
doing what he did best,
one winner
wandering
would be there. It's
around
not like
in
a
a
lottery
veritable
where you
urban
get one grand winner and then
and
100
he managed to
smaller minor
wander
winners.
from the World Tree
The odds of
directly
winning
into
or
the Lake of
receiving,
Souls.
each prize. The fair market value, not the suggested retail of each prize, and the broker must keep records of all prizes, certificates, gifts, or lots distributed or awarded, name and address of each winner, name and address of each person who responded and did not win. So it requires a lot of record keeping. I've found a lot of brokers over the years said, I don't know if I really want to do it or not. Offer something to the general public. I'll still offer maybe some in-house type lotteries or contest production for my agents. We'll divide the office into two different teams, and they can kind of compete against each other for the month of November and December to finish off the year with most listings or most sales. I think it's specifically target these to create a little fun and excitement in the office. I used to always
it's almost time.
love
It's almost time to go night night.
would give a $5,000
I got you. I'm gonna do the story next.
to whichever agent listed the last property for the year, and then give another $5,000 bonus for the first listing in the new year. And I'll tell you, with a field of about 30 agents in the company that I work for as a salesperson, I got to receive both ends several times. Now, my peers were not real happy because what they charged was, when you're going to list a property with a seller, and let's say it's the 15th of December, and the seller's kind of hemming and hawing and saying, geez, should we wait until after the Christmas holidays are over? Are people really looking for homes during the holidays?
Hi.
Have the opportunity to work with brokers to create some of these with their companies, and they're fun. Like I said, you divide the office into a couple teams, or have people work together in 3 or 4 groups. You'll find that for production, and it will spike certain production attributes. Like getting new listings in January and February, you could run a 60 or maybe a 90-day listing contest.
Yeah.
I always liked the one where the company that I first worked for had some really cool ones, and the one that I enjoyed was if you took a listing and it was over $100,000, and our company's policy was for at least 90 days. Remember, you can list a property for a year, so a year listing would work, but at least 90 days. In the sales meeting on Tuesday morning, before we had to worry about Zoom and pandemics, you would get to give a presentation, a 5-minute presentation on your new listing, and the manager would walk up to you while you were standing up and giving your presentation to the other agents, would hand you a crisp new $100 bill. Now, you got to keep that $100 bill. I remember one of our agents, another top agent, actually had 5 new listings. Again, he had the ability to stack listings. What an ego trip. You're now talking about your new listings, and the manager comes up and gives you 5 $100 bills. The good news is you got to keep those 5 $100 bills if the listing sold, just under contract, it didn't have to close, sold in that 90-day period. But if you lost the listing or they withdrew the listing, you had to give the $100 back. And thank goodness the manager had a little bit of decency that he would not walk up to you at the next sales meeting and say, well, you lost that one. I'm coming up to retrieve $100. No, you were allowed to sneak into the manager's office outside of office hours or whenever we were doing a sales meeting and hand it back, or they just take it off your next commission. So all sorts of cool things. Whoever was the top agent in terms of income and production of the company would win an extra $25,000 at the end of the year, and just great things to be able to do as bonuses.
What's the witch of the
great
woods
things to certainly look for. And again, somebody said we ought to write a book on some of the prizes and some of the contests that you could certainly do in a real estate office, and maybe we'll do that in our spare time over the holidays. True or false, contested prizes are
Can this lock be opened without damaging the book?
Transactions.
The
That
elves
is
and
true,
Freya's
believe it or
camp
not.
is to
Think
read
about
it.
it.
Brock never met no lock he couldn't lick.
Timeshares,
I'll
campgrounds,
get
and
her
other
open
vacation
where it's
resort properties are more likely to use
blue
contests
defender
and
law.
prizes. Rental properties are also a good source. If you're in a property management company and you rent apartments for tenants, and you might tenants that rent within or renew a lease might get a big screen TV, and now the cost of that screen TV has come down so amazingly inexpensive today, and they do. That's what technology does. It gets better as the years go on, and of course the cost certainly continues coming down. But that didn't work out. My father passed away about 15 years ago. My mother passed away last month, and it was kind of interesting with the longevity in our bloodline. When they were retired, I would always know where they had spent some of their downtime, retired time over a weekend. I might get a phone call from
before you see the lad again, might we discuss an approach?
in Somerset County, or maybe Treasure Lake up in Clearfield County. And I remember getting a call from Rick Bachman, who used to be the broker of record at Treasure Lake. And he called and said, "Barry, do you have a mom and dad still living?" And at that time I did. And I would say, "Yeah." And he said, "Is your father kind of a short, mild-mannered, very polite individual, and your mother is also a short individual, very fiery along the lines of a Judge Judy?" I'm thinking,
And you tell
mom and
that
dad
one-eyed
were up to Fraser
nutsucker
Lake
he
on
owes
one of
me
those
one.
vacation things. Come on up for the weekend, stay the night, consider buying one of the timeshare campground membership type things. That must have been where mom and dad
I
were.
put your
And
cinch
I
of
would
magic on the young
Rick and I were
turd's
pretty good
boat.
friends. I'd say, "Rick, now
But
that
then
must be
he
another
and
Mr.
Sindri
Mrs.
got
Boy."
into it.
Well, they were there. And
I don't rightly know who's yelling at who right now.
That's right.
Well, come on,
And then
man.
would come what they
Hey,
called
dear,
a barbecue
wake
in the
up. You
high-pressure
got
sales
company.
arena, where
Now, why
they
don't
would
you just
lock
make
the
yourself
door
at
and they
home
turn the
and
air conditioners off during the summertime, and the barbecue involved cooking the consumer
sure he
until they
won't
wrote the
mind?
check and said, "Yeah, we'll take one, let us out." Well, they've certainly changed that because timeshare and campground memberships must be under the jurisdiction, as you now know, of a broker who's held responsible, and that nobody would try those high-pressure sales at the risk of losing the license. But and my mom made sure that she left the checkbook at home so they could say, "Oh, gee, we love it, but we can't write you a check. We forgot." It was the prize that my mom and dad were
Answer
after.
me.
I think
Did
my
you go to
dad, when he
Asgard?
passed away, had 5 sets of golf clubs
Of course
from
not.
going to each one of these different programs.
So what if
and
I did?
listening to sales presentation.
It's my future, it's my
mom
life.
had
You are my
every
son.
type of
Then why don't
wines
you trust
could
me?
Think
Do you
of,
want me to trust you? Then
from
tell me the
cookers
truth.
to
The truth is you're being a complete
slicers
asshole.
to
Laddie,
blenders
you know that's no way to change a man's mind.
she even had
He doesn't have any
a
faith in
Lorraine
me.
Bobbitt
It's fine if he
series,
keeps secrets. It's
signature
fine if Mom
series
did.
cutlery
It is not
set,
fine.
which she prized and
secrets
would
ought to
share
be
with my
stopped.
father anytime he got out of
Oh,
line.
okay.
that
So you
she
don't
had
believe
that
in her
her
anymore
profession.
either?
This is not
I
about
would
your
kind of
mother.
know where they were, and
What you
and
have
I
done
would
is
kind of
lie.
coach them a little bit behind the scenes.
Wonder
and
where
we'll
I
see
learned
that
that.
just a little
That's
bit
quite
here
enough.
as to how that
Since
takes
when do you
place.
always take his side?
Take a look at
Steve,
this
no one making sense.
7. Is it necessary for a real
Look,
estate broker to
I was
have
only
the
thinking
listing
about
of the
going to
property in
Odin.
order to advertise
I swear
it?
it's for a
As
good
we
reason.
discovered before,
There is
no
no
broker
good
just needs
reason
written
to go to
permission
He'll
to
only
advertise
cloud
it.
your mind.
But I'd be going for us. I gotta stop something bad from happening.
Something bad did happen. Look at me, and Freya, and Tyr. Odin did this to us.
Look at the next
Got
question,
everyone
11-8.
caterwauling all of a sudden.
Atreus wants to go to Asgard.
Again,
Asgard?
like we
You
did
kicked in
before,
the
let's
head
take
or
a look
something?
at some violations.
I guess
that
everybody's
exist.
against me now.
We got Bessie Fast. We'll sell it fast. So she's playing on her name here a little bit, also a campaign slogan. Over 3 million sold in 2019. Call today for your free home listing consultation.
I never get to
no one
choose.
gets higher offer prices
leave me
than
alone.
me.
Let go of me.
Listen.
Let go!
Her cell number.
Sindri,
And we serve a nice home
Just try to
there.
keep control.
What do you notice that might be a violation of the law? Based on you. No broker. Yeah, no broker. No broker. I'm assuming
Okay.
the company's name is
Brooklyn.
Come on!
Your turn.
Phone number. Yeah, I'm going to assume that that phone number is a personal phone number, so we don't have an office number there, obviously. She claims over 3 million sold in 2019. If that's factual and can be proven, I think we're okay.
Okay, I'll put some more. Go take a shower and I
Call
got you.
today for your free listing consultation. We saw this our very first, I think that was last evening also, when we looked at the different activities that brokers and salespeople do. Remember I shared that she consulting or counseling can only be a broker. So she's a broker, that's fine. If she's not a broker, we have a violation of the law there.
No municipality?
Yeah, no municipality. Very good. No municipality where this might be.
Lots of Hellwalkers.
But no one gets higher offer prices than me. She might get called to substantiate that. And if she could keep a record of all the offers she's made, show what they were listed at, but how would she really be able to prove that no other real estate agent brought in higher offers than hers? That would be impossible to prove.
Keep it coming. You're just helping me stay warm.
I'm assuming this is probably one of their listings, but it just may be more accessible from that sells, so this public domain. You can actually download these. A lot of people just for screensavers. You don't have to worry about copyright.
Get out your nose.
So when you get it from Excel. Yeah, it doesn't identify the market.
Super peep somewhere.
Only lists her cell number, not the business number.
And it's out in the hallway.
And
where?
we hit them perfectly. It does not identify the brokerage company or the.
All right, I'll pick it up. Go take a shower. Go take a shower.
Stop running. I don't care. Walk.
Betsy's going to make a couple of adjustments here. Let's see if she's been able to knock out the violation. Betsy Bass will still Bass stay the same. You're alligating expert. There is a wonder how expert it is. Expert at what? Real estate.
Keep it coming. You're just helping me stay warm.
Homes in your neighborhood are going fast. You may have to quantify that with the multiple especially in today's market where we've had pent up demand and the limited inventory. So it's been a hyper seller's market for 18 months now. Previous Drop Realty and the phone number is still in violation. And the ones that we saw there. Advertising listings can only link to advertise closed transactions. Borderline panic selling. How about that? Homes in your neighborhood are going fast. Boy, that seemed like an innocent one, didn't it? And have a company name and phone number not equal size with her name and number.
Smiling face with sunglasses.
There it is. Bring the Crop Realty and the. I almost missed it. They were so small. I will share with you, quite frankly, over the decades of watching real estate agents really get uptight about trying to get their name and phone number, maybe creatively or sneakily, sneakily get their name and phone number more prominent so the people who called up directly and not the brokerage company. I don't think it really matters. I think if you end up overworking it, in other words, another agent calls and wants to show it from another company, you'll still split as we saw our first evening together, part of that commission with the other agency. But you know what? You'll sell one of their listings before the month or the year is over, and you'll be able to make up what you lost on that one. So I think that has all been for naught. If anything, when people, especially your Facebook advertisements or agents that may be running just little one-liners, maybe on Twitter, and they don't have all this required information, I think they're just kind of desperate to maybe a little bit
what is this thing? Some kind of white?
There. That's something I get asked about. How did the agents look? Did you notice anything, that might be a little uncomfortable about one agent or another agent? And what they're referring to is maybe the broker was a little reluctant to hire an agent because it kind of lived in the fast lane, and that identifies that maybe they wanted to take shortcuts and maybe use advertising that wasn't truthful or looking for real quick fast deals. Maybe just take fast talking in general, talking to bills, and they just wanted to second or separate set of eyes on that. And quite frankly, I what is it you want? That, we create in classrooms and reading rooms different types of advertisements, different types of case study scenarios, and we let the agents work on them after they learn the concept to see if they apply to your company. And I've seen maybe some shiftiness a little bit, that there's something you want to pay attention to. And that's not a fun thing, it's an obligation to the educational arena of making recruiters, agents, and so forth. How about this one? How does social media present unique concerns with possible advertising violations? I had just mentioned that they reasons I do not participate in social media, besides not having time, looking at people, some of the illegal things that they may be doing, they were learning tonight. The other social media, 1 and 2-liners can create some problems, so short links of text available or posts would be one of the challenges that we have. Not only that, how about shareable post?
You trying to tell me something?
And that could be a double-edged sword. When something that you post, somebody picked up and they shared it elsewhere, they forwarded it on, and it might have been illegal, and 3 or 4 shared posts down the line, somebody picks up on it and now files a complaint with the real estate commission, takes a screenshot and sends it in as an attachment or in its digital form. So that's the bad news, and the good news together. The good news is there's something illegal going on. The good news, unfortunately, would be bad if the information was inaccurate for some reason. We had a big problem in the early years of what's called scraping software on the internet. I don't know if you know what that is. There are people that launch viruses onto the internet every day. They put bugs out, and these are not all bad. The bugs are just out searching. They'll launch them. They're called spiders also. They will go through the internet, and anything that looks like it's a real estate agent's website, they will capture and they will return with it. So at the end of the day, the person that is, and they'll do this for a bunch of different reasons. So maybe for real estate companies, I'll tell you so that they now can scan the marketplace, put geographic parameters on it, central Pennsylvania, greater Philly area, Pennsylvania. What we're trying to do is create new web pages with information that the spiders have scraped off of anything else that looks like a real estate web page. And this is how some of the big developers have started over the years. They'll do some searching. They'll put together a group of listings of properties that sure look like they're legitimate, and try to get advertisers with popularity count and look at some of the demographics and the empirical data as to who is going to diagnostics on appearing. So they try to sell for investors or attract investors to invest in the website, as well as they post advertising for more revenue generating. Agents find out about this whenever they Google their own name. We encourage people to do this about once a week. Google your own name and watch what comes up. You might find an agent evaluation website, and when you get on, it says, evaluation service agent, would you like to handle the first evaluation? And people get excited and say, hey, nobody knows it's really me. I'll go ahead and say wonderful things about me, and that's how they get these things launched and moving forward. So now you learned a little bit about spiders and launching and some of the viruses. So the viruses were not released to create destruction. They were actually, the spiders in this case, to actually bring back information to whoever the host is so that they can use it for marketing and try to launch web pages. You could do this in any industry. And you see them from time to time, especially over the last couple of weeks. I've noticed on the internet there have been a lot of new independent companies with new catchy names showing up, and it may be like Wayfair, which are housing goods, household goods and things like that, or it might be for clothing, men's clothing, children's clothing, women's clothing, and so forth. You see them if you watch commercial TV, where they have commercials through the network TV is what they used to call it, and effectively you watch some of the commercials and you see these new names. There's always a new medicine almost on a weekly basis showing up that treats almost anything that anybody might have or think they have, and that's how they create new web pages very inexpensively, try to gain the popularity and sell to investors. When it gets really big, then they go private or they go public with it. How about pages by default have the individual's name or content where he or she works for a company? And the last one here is length of time the ad is viewable. To save on bandwidth and the publication timing, unexpected
I'd find
appearance.
shelter and then what? Where could I
Depending
go?
on your target market, you may want people to see it during business hours. If you think they may be going through the internet, you might want it to appear maybe late at night, maybe early in the morning. There's a bunch of different, like I said, diagnostics and data that can be employed when you're looking at the best way to post. There are people that are very good at this kind of thing too. Let's take a look at the prohibited acts by licensees. The Real Estate Commission has kind of put a list together here to make sure that we don't run into these, as you see on page 243. And before we do, why don't we take our last 10-minute break, and we'll see you back in 10.